Okay, let's talk about the cues that are set up for the Indian markets tomorrow, and they do not look very encouraging. Now, yesterday, the bears returned to rule in the last hour of trade as the markets erased the gains, and the Nifty and the Sensex actually closed 1% lower. The Nifty went below the 10,500 mark, and the Nifty Bank also lost almost 700 points from the day's high. SGX Nifty, for starters, is suggesting that we might start tomorrow with a cut of around 80 points as well. Now, apart from the weak global cues and the rising US yields, other important thing to track is the Indian rupee movement. Now, yesterday the rupee ended a bit weak at 73.60 versus Tuesday's close of 73.46, and the latest reading of the dollar index suggests that it has moved up to the level of 75.7, now which can add further pressure on the rupee tomorrow. Separately, one positive cue is that the crude has behaved overnight. In fact, it's down about 3% in an overnight session, and that comes as a positive news for India. Crude went below the level of $80 per barrel mark. This after US crude stocks indicated that there has been an increase of 6.5 million barrels in the previous week. Remember, the surge was the fourth straight weekly build-up that we have seen, and this is almost triple of what analysts has forecasted, and that's the reason we saw that overnight slide when it comes to the crude. And it's a good news for the Indian consumers as well, because the fuel prices have been cut after a period of 13 days. Now, the petrol prices have been cut by 21 paise to 88.08 litre ex Mumbai, and diesel price has been cut by 11 paise to 79.24 litre in Mumbai. Of course, we have some big cues to watch out in terms of stocks as well. The big one, of course, is Reliance, which reported a beat when it comes to the retail business. However, the refining margins continue to be under pressure, so a mixed set of numbers coming in for Reliance. We have fresh news on Indigo, wherein ICRA has revised Indigo's long-term rating to A+ from AA earlier, and the outlook has now been revised to negative from stable on account of the significant rupee depreciation coupled with the sharp rise that we have seen in crude prices recently. Another big number coming in, and that one was ACC. That one reported a weak set. While the volumes were better than expected, the margin as well as revenue came below estimates, so that might see a bit of pressure tomorrow. Keep an eye out on the Fortis saga as well, as SEBI has asked Fortis Health to recover 400 crore rupees from the former promoters in a matter of 3 months. Also, the latest coming in on the Essar Steel case, wherein ArcelorMittal has approved payment of around 7,000 crore dues to the lenders, making it now eligible to bid for Essar Steel. And lastly, one update coming in from Yes Bank, wherein RBI reaffirms that Rana Kapoor's successor should be appointed by February 1st, 2019. But let's talk about the big cue that is lined up for trade tomorrow. It's a mixed bag from Reliance Industries in the second quarter. Revenues have beaten expectations, but gross refining margins have dropped to their lowest level in over 2 years. Sonia Shenoy is here with the breakdown of the numbers. Sonia, over to you.
Well, it has been a mixed quarter for Reliance Industries. The big disappointment has come in the refining business. The gross refining margins have come in the lowest in at least the last 9 quarters at $9.50 per barrel, which is even lower than the pole of $10.2 a barrel. The petchem business has also slowed down. The growth in the EBIT has slowed down to just 3.3% versus a double-digit growth that we've seen for the past 4 quarters. Rel Geo was a mixed bag. We saw a beat in the revenues, but the profits were a miss. The only positive, positive surprise this time around was in Reliance Retail. Scorching pace of growth there, a 25% revenue growth coming in at 32,436 crores, while the EBIT has also grown by almost 16% on a quarter-on-quarter basis. So barring Reliance Retail, the numbers were either in line or lower than street estimates.
Thank you, Sonia, for that. But separately, Reliance Industries has also appointed former SBI Chairman Arundhati Bhattacharya as independent director for a period of 5 years starting yesterday.